No bells and whistles. Just raw content, man. Let's go. Shout out to everybody that's been watching. Shout out to all the supporters, man. We're going to watch a little bit of some content, listen to some things, and react to it real quick. It's getting interesting, man. So, I mean, maybe people are going back on who they think took out Charlie Kirk now. And then, did anybody see those text messages? Who saw the text messages, man? Because those text messages was cringe, yo. Hot diggity damn. Those text messages was cringe. I had never seen nothing like that. Straight up and down. Like, the text messages look like some fed bullshit. I'm telling you. I had never seen nothing like that, man. I ain't gonna fret. I say, now I know they don't think this gonna get over on the people, but some people it will. But for the most part, nah. Russell Red in the building. I don't think them text messages is gonna fly, man. Them text messages look weird as hell, man. I said, I ain't never seen nobody with a gun talk like that so much about they weapon, they firearm in a text. And then, I mean, it's just text, just typing, it's tippity typing. I said, what the hell is this, man? They really think this gonna pass with us? But they do. All right, let's listen to this, y'all. Come on, here we go. We got it.
Informant, why would the whole thing get hosed? Why not just release the stuff and be done with it?
CP3 in the building.
But the first thing we're going to show is a little clip where we have some kind of dispatcher on the university grounds talking about the shooter, saying that he is east of the library in all black clothing, and they also say the person has a rifle.
Maybe the PSW just east of the library. He's wearing jeans, black shirt, black vest, long rifle.
UVU, there was one shot in front of the school, right around about.
And it's not
I
the
know,
best picture in
Russ.
the world, but here's what I will say about it. And a lot of people in the comments.
Oh, they turn up today,
it for
man.
sure looks like a prosthetic. It looks like a fake face. It does not look like normal facial features. It just doesn't really look real. Now, this was reported. They're saying that he has a black rifle. I'm not seeing from the pictures where the rifle is.
Man, that
but what I will
rifle
say
shit.
is this dude looks very sketchy. He looks like he's someone who is either undercover, some level of government, some level of contracting group. I mean, it looks like ultimately he watched too many of those shows where they're about these contract killers, where they go in and they have to have the suit on and the Ray-Bans and slick back hair and, I don't know, fake face. I don't know. I mean, are people buying this? We got 15
morning,
different
Miss
suspects.
Susan.
One looks like this dude who actually had a conversation with Charlie Kirk in one of his shows and was very pissed off at him.
But you don't. It's not a U.S. citizen, first of all. You want to have a debate, but you don't debate. There's nothing more ill state. So we already have a mic. Name 2 times. Name 2 times where you... Show me you're losing without telling me you're losing.
I know I said I'm not going to show anybody's face, but I don't truly believe these are killers. The 2 faces don't add up. So did they get the suspect wrong? What exactly went on here? So the shooting happens. A lot of people think that this guy on the roof is the one who did it. I can't say for certain that this is not the guy who runs off the back of the building.
Yeah, I gotta cover that. But this Charlie Kirk thing is more divisive than
I
ever.
can confidently say he does not have a gun when he's running away. It's not in his pants. He didn't break the entire gun down. That takes forever for that gun.
Yeah,
and it's not up his ass, even though he probably would have really enjoyed it, knowing that he was dating a trans person. Who knows, maybe it was up his ass. That would make this thing make a lot of sense.
This guy.
There's no way a 48-inch gun is going that far up. Okay, y'all get the point. You don't need visual here. But he runs out the building. Then the FBI finds the gun in the woods during the daytime, and they've got flashlights all over it. Has anyone here ever used a flashlight when it is bright as day outside? Would it even come to mind? Would you even go to your pocket and say, you know what? My eyes just are permanently stuck on nighttime. So even though there's light outside, I need to make sure there's a flashlight on it. No. Then they release images of the suspect. Then the suspect's father turns him in. That's a whole nother subject that we're going to go over on the podcast because that's wild. They bring him into court. It's all good. The question still remains, is this guy the shooter? Or was he just part of an operation? Was he a part of the Discord messages? Here are a couple thoughts. One, he was connected but didn't do it. I'm not saying he didn't. That would be one solution to the, well, where's the gun? When he's running away. The second would be he found out about this and maybe got conned into being a decoy. Like, hey, we're going to do this, go up to the building.
But the messages, hold on, because I'm trying to do a lot at once.
That's what makes the most sense. Because otherwise the gun would have...
But the text messages were cringe. Went to a sundown town in Alabama. Damn, what happened? They got hurt? They were unalived? And so, like, and then on top of that, y'all, like, there's a lot of things going on right now where like they might be trying to censor people talking about this subject. So on top of that, it might not even look the way it's been looking over here, because I was definitely killing it for a second, unaliving it for a second. You know, we was doing our thing over here, but for the most part, I think that that did help out a lot, most definitely. But on top of that, some reason they're not trying to big up this oh shit, I done went through a sundown town in Alabama. I've been scared. I done been scared as hell to go through a sundown town in Alabama. I'm telling you right now. You know, it is frightening. It's extremely frightening. It's extremely frightening. And then on top of that, this Charlie Kirk thing just don't seem to be what it should be. Now I got something else I want to play for y'all too. You know, where it's talking about divisiveness. We got the Jimmy Kimmel thing. Jimmy Kimmel being taken down from ABC for some things that he said regarding. Oh yeah, now you're right about that too, CP3. You know, I could only imagine if they seen a group of black people, you know. But once again, like, black people having to fight they shit. You know what I'm saying? Black people be having to fight and stand up and shit. We be having to fight that shit. It's a lot of divisiveness going on right now. So that's the other clip I was gonna play, where it was talking about you know, just how people react when black people get killed, and then how people react when white people get killed. I was definitely gonna bring up that subject, okay? When people get unalived that's black, how people react, and then how people react to how white people act when they get unalived, okay? Let's keep going.
I've been in the woods, it would have been on top of the building, or it would have been a different gun. Now, there are a lot of people who broke down the shooting. A lot of people have said that he was wearing body armor. At first, it didn't look like it to me. But I was looking at a bunch of different videos, and I saw one that very clearly outlines body armor. A lot of people said that it may have hit the top of the body armor, bounced off, and hit him in the neck. For me, the problem with that theory is it is almost a guarantee that that bullet is going to somewhat fragment, especially if it's a level 3 or higher plate. It could have not, but in my opinion, if it's bouncing off something, the entry is going to be bigger. There have also been other theories that the guy just shot him straight in the neck. Maybe he was aiming for his head, and they missed low because they were shooting from a high point. The problem is there's no exit from that angle, and nobody on Earth is going to tell me that 30-06 going anywhere from 3,000 to 2,700 feet per second is not going to have an exit wound. I've deer hunted my entire life. I've hog hunted most of my life. Not once, going through rib cages, going through bone, has there not been an exit wound with a 30-06. And the body of a deer is way wider than a human's neck. I don't know how much this makes sense to people, but some of them are 1.5 feet wide. So in my opinion, that doesn't make sense. Then the other day I had this video sent to me, and this is by far the most shocking footage that I've seen. Why don't we just start with the footage? Well, here's what I want y'all to watch. There is a muzzle flash that is coming from a window, if you're looking at Charlie Kirk from the crowd, up and to the left.
I can't
which
really
makes the most sense to me as far as him being shot at the other side of the neck and this being an exit.
They ain't finna get my ass for that again.
Where the red circle is, as the next clip plays. To me, I first seen this and thought straight away, holy shit, that is the bullet. It matches.
He didn't say nothing bad, but he definitely was talking about the president.
And the angle of the entry and exit
on national TV, on ABC,
just to see if this was actually fact. Trying to
Phoenix Rising
posted anything, and in that video you can see the same, what appears to be the bullet coming down, and it does line up with the actual gunshot itself.
So you're not counting gang violence. Great.
I ain't looking at none of that shit. None of that shit getting showed on my channel. I ain't even gonna lie.
Again, I needed another angle. I found this video, and this one's a little bit harder to see, but you can see something go down into the back.
Agent Smitty in the building.
Of Charlie. So from this, looking at Google Earth and drawing a line from where I believe the shooter was, his tent being set up in the middle of that triangle area, would appear that the shooter was up here somewhere. That's the angle that the bullet was coming down from.
All right, since I made that the topic, let's see if we can find a short with
if you pan around and look at where the media and everyone else is saying.
Let me see if I can find that Jimmy Kimmel clip.
Ricochets and different bullets and bits and pieces. It doesn't make sense for it to come from this.
Y'all know I'm doing something I ain't supposed to be doing right now.
Well, it doesn't line up with
So pretty wild stuff. There are a lot of theories here. There are a lot of ideas, but I'm just going to flat out say
CNN got the
and the
story.
ABC network are taking Jimmy Kimmel Live off the air indefinitely. This follows a controversy over comments the
Hey,
comedian made Monday night.
They said this fool was making $16 million a year. Now, I'm going to be honest. Yeah, it's real safe. How the hell is it not safe in Phoenix and you got a wrench? A wrench. Yeah, they fired Jimmy Kimmel because he said something about Trump. He said Trump didn't really, want to bring up the he said, yeah, they was like, man, I know you probably going through something right now. And Trump was like, yeah, man, he started talking about the bricks or something in DC where they need to be cleaned up and all that. It's been 150 years or something, he said. Here we go.
Charlie Kirk's suspected killer and the MAGA movement and their reaction to the assassination. Let's get straight to CNN's chief media affairs correspondent, Brian Stelter. Brian, what is going on?
That's right. This is fast developing this afternoon, Jake, amid pressure from the Trump-aligned FCC. And in the past few minutes, ABC confirmed to CNN the Kimmel show will be off the air, quote, indefinitely. We have not yet heard from Kimmel or his representatives. That's how quickly this has been developing. But let's back up and look at what Kimmel actually said on the program that has caused controversy. This is from Monday night in his Monday evening monologue. Kimmel suggested that the alleged killer of Charlie Kirk might have been a pro-Trump Republican. He said, quote, the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. He said in between the finger pointing, there was grieving. Kimmel was expressing what we've heard some other liberals say in recent days, that the motives are unclear and that maybe the suspect in this case was a Republican or was some sort of far right fringe figure. Of course, there has been a lot of discussion about that in recent days.
Yeah.
A lot of evidence pointing in other directions about the suspect. But Kimmel was on the air talking about this, making a very serious commentary amid his jokes in his monologue Monday night. Here's where it became interesting earlier today. The FCC chairman, Brendan Carr, went on a far right webcast and condemned Kimmel and urged ABC to suspend him. He also talked about possible regulatory punishments of Disney because there are lots of different stations that have licenses with the FCC. Within the past hour, we've heard from a big owner of stations that have affiliations with ABC, a company called Nexstar, saying that they were going to suspend Kimmel's show on their stations. So in other words, about 24 stations were refusing to air Kimmel's show tonight as a result of this controversy. And then following word that some of those stations were basically revolting against Kimmel, Disney, the parent company of ABC, decided to yank the show entirely. So that's all we know at the moment. We know that Kimmel will not be on the air tonight or for the foreseeable future because the network says the show has been yanked off the air indefinitely.
Brian, just to take one issue, your interpretation of what Kimmel said, I think, is the one that Brendan Carr had and the one that the individuals at Nexstar have. But what he said specifically was, quote, the MAGA gang is desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. That could be read in several ways. That could be heard in several ways. It could also be it could also be argued he's saying that what the MAGA gang is doing is just trying to make sure that they don't have any ownership of it, not necessarily that this killer, this horrible person, was part of them.
I think you're making a very important point. You're making a very important point. And let's take a little bit step further. This was all on Monday night. Nobody seemed to notice this yesterday, Jake. This all erupted in the past few hours when the Trump-aligned FCC chairman decided to point at it. Now, I've heard from him in the past few minutes, Brendan Carr, thanking Nexstar for doing the right thing by yanking the show. He has not yet commented on ABC yanking the show altogether across the entire country. But let's remember that when Stephen Colbert's show was canceled over the summer, what did President Trump say? He said, next up will be an even less talented Jimmy Kimmel. It is clear that pro-Trump allies have been trying to target ABC over Kimmel for several weeks now, and tonight they prevailed.
Yeah, Brian Stelter, thanks so much for that breaking news. Let's go right to the panel. And let me first start by showing, I wondered what was going on earlier today when I saw this pop up on Twitter. This is the FCC chairman, Brendan Carr, on a far-right podcast talking about what Kimmel's comments were. Let's roll that tape.
Yeah, when you look at the conduct that has taken place by Jimmy Kimmel,
This is CNN.
it appears to be some of the sickest conduct possible. Obviously, there's calls for Kimmel to be fired. I think, you could certainly see a path forward for suspension over this. And again, the FCC is going to have remedies that we could look at.
Joe, are you comfortable with the FCC playing this role?
I don't think this is a legal issue. I don't think this can be pointed to the FCC or the Trump administration and say, well, this is about them going after Kimmel because of what he said. Personally, I think it's more of a cultural issue. And I got to tell you, I'm about as moderate a Republican as you're going to get. I'm from New York. I have not been comfortable watching late night television 15 years because when you have conservative leanings and you're constantly mocked and you're constantly feel like you're doing something wrong, you shut it off. You don't watch it anymore. And what happens is it's circular. If the host doesn't have that audience, the host doesn't worry about keeping an audience like that. It goes in circles, and at some point, you get things like this where you say things, and that wasn't the full quote. The further quote was that he mocked President Trump for flying the flags at half-staff in remembrance of Charlie Kirk, and said it's like grieving of a 4-year-old, as a 4-year-old grieves for a goldfish.
No,
that was the full quote.
Well, the full quote was, I think he ran the clip of a reporter asking President Trump.
Why y'all not gonna run it?
With the death of Charlie Kirk. And
Let me
President
see if I
Trump
can
said, I
find
think I'm
this
doing
clip.
okay, and then he proceeded to talk about the ballroom that was being built on the White House grounds. I think that was
That was
Yeah,
the full
the
context.
ball,
Again, I didn't say any of this. I'm just trying to present as accurate a picture of what did happen.
All right, here we go.
ABC telling NBC News that they will be taking Jimmy Kimmel's popular late night show off of the air indefinitely after comments the late night host made earlier this week about Charlie Kirk's assassination and the motives of the man accused of killing him.
The MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
Now, this also comes just hours after FCC Chairman Brendan Carr suggested that the FCC could take action against Disney and ABC for Kimmel's comments. And it also comes after Nexstar Media Group announced in a statement that their affiliates would not be airing the shows, saying that they, quote, strongly objects to recent comments made by Mr. Kimmel concerning the killing of Charlie Kirk. Now, NBC News, we've reached out to Kimmel for comment, and we have not yet heard back. ABC telling NBC News that they will be taking Jimmy Kimmel's...
All right, hold on. Anton got the video. I don't know. Yeah, Anton got the video.
What do you think of it all?
Let's go to Anton.
To the point of whether there's a legal element here, I think Joe's right. Like the First Amendment says Congress shall make no law, which means you can only enforce the First Amendment against the government. So can Jimmy
Shout
Kimmel
out to Anton Daniels, man.
He be ABC for making a decision to remove him.
He be dropping shit the way he's supposed to drop it. These people just do too much.
What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Jimmy Kimmel, who I don't necessarily think is funny. As a matter of fact, I don't even know how the majority of these guys stay on late night television because I don't know anybody, and I've never seen anybody, even including old people.
It was
that
funny
watch
though.
Late night television, and we know that television
Hey,
is
look,
dying. I don't think that it's going to go away.
He got a couple laughs in the building, and the reason he got the laughs was not because of Charlie Kirk. He got the laughs because of Donald Trump, because of how Trump responded. So that's where the laughs came from. As far as it being about Charlie Kirk specifically, no, of course not.
In the next decade, however, we know that streaming services such as YouTube and yours truly always bring you the great content. YouTube, Peacock, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Apple TV, all of those platforms are absolutely continuing to nibble on the heels of what's going on cable TV and late night TV. But Jimmy Kimmel, he decided that he wanted to put his nail in the grave a lot sooner than that. And the way that he did it, unceremoniously. I don't know why these guys can't read the room. I don't know who their producers are. I don't know why somebody doesn't say, you know what? Not us. We're not going to do it. You know, because you know that advertisers can pull advertising at any moment if they don't necessarily care for the rhetoric that's happening online. Jimmy Kimmel decided that he wanted to unceremoniously fire himself by having crazy comments about Charlie Kirk and the way he did his death. Now, he should know better than this. He's been online and he's been in the news for a long time, but ABC decided that they wanted to pull Jimmy Kimmel's show indefinitely after his remarks about Charlie Kirk. Let's get into it, y'all. Says Disney's ABC, which we know that Disney tends to be a lot more of a liberal network, at least they were during the Biden administration, is taking Jimmy Kimmel's late night talk show off air indefinitely amid controversy over his recent comments about Charlie Kirk's suspected killer. Goes on to say that a representative for Kimmel did not immediately respond to request for comment. Let's see if I can blow this up a little bit more. Request for comment. Abrupt announcement came Wednesday evening after at least one major operator of ABC affiliated station said it would not broadcast the show for the foreseeable future. So one turned into two turned into four, and then it went from there. The operator, Nexstar, said it strongly objects to the recent comments made by Mr. Kimmel concerning the killing of Charlie Kirk and will replace the show with other programming in its ABC affiliated markets. Now, a lot of people don't really understand that most of these markets and most of these places kind of like simulcast, right? And so when you talk about it being in a particular market, they can choose not to simulcast it. It's almost like, I don't know if you were growing up, I was growing up at a time where they had simulcast when it came to radio stations. It's the same thing with this, and they decided to let it go. And what really is going on is you have half of the country, despite how you believe, when you become a public figure, you kind of got to straddle the line if you decide that you want to do business on major networks like ABC, Disney, and so on and so forth. And I believe that is why a lot of other people like Stephen A. Smith, they decide that they wanted to have their own show in addition to it because it gives them more visibility. It allows them to be able to say some of the things they really want to say, and they can have their opinions outside of what's broadcast on a major network. So Jimmy Kimmel used his platform to go super left and go tone deaf at a time where it's probably not as popular to be tone deaf because it can cost you your job. During his Monday evening monologue, Kimmel suggested Kirk's alleged killer, Tyler Robinson, may have been a pro-Trump Republican. He says the MAGA gang is desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. And then everybody said, oh, and they pushed the laugh track and all of that stuff, right? It goes on to say that ABC late night host remarks constituted the sickest conduct possible. FCC chair Brendan Carr told right-wing broadcaster Benny Johnson. On Wednesday, Carr suggested his FCC could move to revoke ABC affiliate licenses as a way to force Disney to punish Kimmel. It says we can do this the easy way or the hard way. These companies can find ways to change conduct and take actions on Kimmel. And there's going to be additional work for the FCC ahead. So basically what they're telling you is that when you work for somebody else, or you decide that you want to sign a contract, regardless of how you feel, regardless, not immediately respond to requests for comment. This is not the first time Carr's Daniel Sir, president of the Center for American Rights, wrote in has the option to retire. But the one thing that man Jimmy Kimmel probably will be doing his own thing and coming out with a new YouTube channel rather than traditional news. ABC's affiliates need to step up and hold ABC accountable as a network for passing through material that fails to respect the public interest standard to which they are held. Daniel Sir, president of the Center for American Rights, wrote in a complaint. Disney, as ABC's corporate owner, needs to act directly to correct this problem. So, with that being said, late night, not so funny man Jimmy Kimmel probably will be doing his own thing and coming out with a new YouTube channel like everybody else and saying that he's going independent or he has the option to retire. But the one thing that we do know for sure, and two things is certain, is that Jimmy Kimmel is being pulled according to reports from everywhere, including the Wall Street Journal, so on and so forth, and he is unceremoniously being let go. Let me know what you guys think inside of the comments. Make sure you tap into the Patreon link in the description. Of course, we are going to be covering this on the Millionaire Morning Show in the morning. I love you. I appreciate you. I do not feel bad for Jimmy Kimmel whatsoever, especially considering I remember a time where censorship was tantamount and you couldn't even say anything. So much so to where Republicans were being censored on Twitter, and it took Elon Musk buying it in order to release everybody and to let them say what they want to say when they want to say.
I need a
Let me know what y'all
mod
think
that
inside
can
of the comments.
go
Make
in
sure you
here
tap
and
into the Patreon. I
change
love you. I
something
appreciate
for
you.
me.
I can't wait to read them.
Yeah, I need a mod that can go in here and change something for me because I forgot to put my recipe on my video. But let's see here. So basically, a man that was making $16 million a year canceled because he said something about Trump not responding a certain way, basically. Like somebody said it in the comments, but basically like he wasn't grieving, you know. But once again, if a man isn't grieving, just be like the way other people grieve, like sitting there boohoo crying and shit like that, you gonna hold a man accountable for that. But then on top of that, it's ABC, man. I mean, Disney and all that stuff. He can go get his own show, but now 16 million a year now, he might be pissed off about that. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Let me find this clip. Well, no, this is Bro Sanchez TV, and we're gonna talk about division before. Let's talk about this division part.
I want to go to the original post. So what I put out was Charlie Kirk shooter comes from a family of conservatives and right-wing Republicans. Watch out, everyone still pushes the division and leftist narrative. People was really beat me up over this post. All right, like this guy. I'm not sure that it matters which side he came from. He murdered a man in cold blood. The murder and the reaction of the people cheering is the issue. And I want to stop right there and say, people cheering your death ain't an issue. If people cheering about Charlie Kirk's death is an issue, then we need to stop hip-hop music, trap music, and drill music, because these young men cheer about the death of their enemy all the time. If someone thinks Charlie Kirk is an enemy to their people, and they think that one of their enemies just died, they're going to cheer it. And they got the right to do that in America. It's amazing to me that a lot of these patriots, a lot of people who got American flags on their avatar, they keep talking about people mocking Charlie Kirk's death is an issue. But here's my problem with it. As someone who served in the military and I was in the infantry, it's a spit in my face as a veteran. It's a spit in all veterans' faces that any American got a problem with what another American's saying, because I fought for your free speech. I fought and put my life on the line so that every American, even Charlie Kirk, can say whatever he want to say, no matter how radical it is, no matter how hateful it is, no matter how evil it is. Don't you know?
And it's news coming out about, you know, and once again, man, like, when Trump gets in office, people just start, like, it starts rattling the cage and shit like that. Like, people want to fight, hurt, unalive each other and all of that. It seems like a tactic being used by the right side, okay? Melly Mel in the building. Salute to you, man. Appreciate you pulling up. So it seems like a tactic being used by the right side to just stir up shit, you know? Assassinations in public now and all of that, you know. Then you got the left with the sobbing and all of that shit, stirring up the pot as well. People really on edge about things like this, you know.
Free speech means you don't gotta just say good stuff out of your mouth. Don't you know free speech means I don't just gotta compliment you, I can insult you in America and ain't nothing gonna happen to me. That's the beauty of America. Now, you got a lot of white folks that's calling themselves patriots, but they got a different idea of America than the black man. See, in the black man's America, everyone got the right to say what they want to say, when they want to say it, how they want to say it. That's the black man's America. At least that's the America that they describe to us when they talk about free speech. But in the white man's America, in his mind, everyone got the right to say whatever they want to say about everyone except the white man. In black man's America, you can mock my dead ancestors. They do it all the time. In black man's America, you can wear a shirt that say, I can breathe, after choking a black man out who couldn't breathe. In the black man's America, we are okay with the idea that people are going to mock our history. They are going to mock what we went through in the past, and it was horrible. It was way more horrible than the Jewish Holocaust. And if you try to mock that, you'll get censored. So in the land of free speech, the speech is only free if you mocking black people. The speech is only free if you mocking Asian people. The speech is only free. You see, I can mock an Italian man death right now. Nothing will happen. I can mock the death of a Mexican man right now. I can do it right now. Nothing will happen. I can mock the death of anybody I want to right now, and nothing's going to happen. But if I mock the death of Charlie Kirk, something don't happen. Something don't happen. Now ask yourself, is that equality?
A conservative white man.
This ain't about people's fucked up attitude.
Let's be accurate with that. A conservative white man. Somebody that, you know, says he follows God. He has a wife, probably working on some kids, or he had kids, I believe. I think he did have a daughter. Something like that. So those are the people that can't be mocked. You can't mock those type of people. Oh, but you can mock every black man in the nation, man, okay? We don't give a damn about them black guys. You know what I'm saying? You can talk shit about the Spanish guy who chopped people's heads off and all that type of stuff. It's fine, okay? But you ain't gonna be talking about no white man, okay?
And how ratchet they are for mocking the dead. It's about their right to do it.
Real.
It's about their right as an American to do it. If somebody got a problem with a veteran covering the Charlie Kirk story from a perspective of free speech, kiss my black ass, motherfucker. Because you know what? You didn't join the military and you didn't put your life on the line for free speech. It's a bunch of white patriots that got a problem with Sanchez saying if a person want to mock Charlie Kirk's death, they can. And you know why these white patriots got a problem? Because the America they live in, you can mock whoever you want to mock, but you ain't gonna mock a white man. I want to make a point today that I didn't put my life on the line for that. I put my life on the line so that everyone can be able to say whatever they want to say, even if you want to mock someone's death. I fought for that. It's called free speech. Free speech means, again, you don't gotta pay for the shit you just said. It's free. Because it's America.
Yep.
So you got a lot of white folks that saying they patriots, but their idea of patriotism is Jim Crow. You talking about a man that was murdered in cold blood? We shouldn't even discuss the people that's mocking his death. We should only be discussing the people that caused his death.
Facts.
And I'm gonna keep making videos saying this, man.
Most definitely.
So
me too.
Another thing that these white folks do who racist, right? What these white folks do who racist, right? They follow me and they love my content. And see, when Carmelo Anthony case came up, I came out against Carmelo Anthony. And guess what, y'all? All of the white people was patting me on my back. I'm gonna say this shit again now because this has hurt my heart, y'all.
Yep.
Listen what I learned as a black man in the past couple months. It's a wait. I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. If you ever heard of a Negro wake-up call, I'm gonna admit right now to everyone watching, Sanchez is having his Negro wake-up call right now. Sanchez is having his Negro wake-up call right now. I'm saying why, and it's pushing me to be pro-black.
Hey, get that
I'm gonna tell you why.
Get
When
the
I came
fuck out of
Carmelo
my
Anthony,
chat with this.
no one was
shit.
telling me, Sanchez, this is division.
Talking about. Please get out my chat. Somebody please. Hold on, man. Somebody snipe that fucker out my chat right there. I don't know what the hell they talking about. Can we get a sniper, please? What the hell? I don't know what the hell wrong with people, bro.
No one was telling me, Sanchez, this is a distraction. I didn't have no black conservatives. I didn't have no white folks telling me, Sanchez, why you even covering this? Everybody was patting me on the back except for black people. I was going against black people because in my eyes, Carmelo was wrong, and I still think Carmelo was wrong. I still think Carmelo was wrong, but here's what I learned. I learned that the white people that follow me don't mind me covering divisive news stories when I'm saying that the black brother was wrong. Now that I'm covering a story bringing up how the white man is wrong, all of my white subscribers talking shit, y'all. Well, most of them, not all. This is the shit I'm talking about right here. Because I just did streams about Carmelo Anthony. No one was saying it's staged. They were saying, you right, Sanchez, that young black man is violent. They didn't say that's fake news, Sanchez. How you know that ain't a staged event? No one came to me and said, Sanchez, it might be crisis actors.
Hell yeah.
But with a white man shooting another white man, everybody coming to me like, Sanchez, I thought you were smarter than that. You don't know that this is a psyop? People coming to me saying, Sanchez, I thought you were smarter than that, man. You can't see this all staged? People coming to me saying, Sanchez, you the one perpetuating the division. Why are you perpetuating this division? But these same people allowed me to cover the Carmelo Anthony case.
Hey, look, I can get them up out of there. I can get them up out of here. I'm just driving, man. So I'm looking down. I'm holding the phone. I'm trying to be as safe as possible driving, you know. So appreciate y'all. Appreciate you.
That Carmelo was a violent young black man. Some of these same white folks that you see coming right now, when I covered Carmelo, they was on my side. Now that I'm calling out this mass shooter, which is a threat to public safety, they want to tell me they know for a fact it's fake. And I'm not even caring whether it's fake or not. I don't know if it's fake or not. What's real is the division that is calling, and that's all I've been dealing with. How have I been dealing with it? By making white men be accountable for their violence, just like black men are being held accountable. Every time a black man kill another black man, it's black violence. But you know what I've been hearing? Political violence. That's what they're calling the white man killing a white man. Political violence, y'all.
Political
Everyone
violence
is using the words political violence. They're saying we got to do something about political violence, as if politics can kill you. Politics ain't killing motherfuckers. It's people that are radical.
Basically saying that they got the right to pull shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like they can use their political power to perform assassination attempts or whatever the case may be, because it's political. So it can be almost justified for assassinating a man. You know? And that's why you hear people say black people need a party, because definitely on the outside trying when it comes to how our communities and our economic system shaped, you know? So
if you want to die before your granddaddy start this, I'm gonna make this defense watching him.
Damn, I didn't mean to do that.
Radicalizing politics and have these radical political ideologies. So when a black man kill another black man, it's black on black violence. But in the wake of Charlie Kirk's death, which is white on white violence, you don't hear those words. All you hear is political violence.
Yep.
We got to do something about people mocking death versus we got to do something about white mass shooters, which is a public safety threat, a public safety hazard. Anybody think that what I'm saying is divisive? Screw you. Unsubscribe. I don't care. Anyone that sub to me that support that devil named Charlie Kirk, you can unsub to me too. I don't want nobody sub to me that supports Charlie Kirk, because he was an agent of division in America.
Yes, he
was
an
agent of unity.
And that's another thing. That's another thing. Like, hey, yeah, everybody keep giving this man credit for doing something great with the freedom of speech, but at the end of the day, that man was causing an uproar. He was causing an uproar. So he was changing the way people were thinking in public. I don't give a damn if they was black or white. It caused more division than it did help the division. They still sit in their, little huddles, their corners, and they get to speak in the manner of we're better than them, basically.
I'll break this down, one caller at a time. And yeah, so my thing with these white people are using their wokeness as a way to dumb black people down from systemic racism. I don't care how many of your chakras you activated. If you can't still see that there's an agenda against a targeted group in this country, you didn't wake up, you went to sleep. So what I'm going to tell you right now is this: you woke people. All right, when you get so damn woke that you can't see.
And that's another thing. That word woke was hijacked, okay? Woke, and I'm going to break it down on my channel, okay? Right here, right now. Woke is for the people that don't know the knowledge of the black man, of their ancestral knowledge. Okay? They don't know what they should be putting in their bodies. They don't know how they should be conducting themselves when it comes to other nationalities. It's about learning about your race. It's about learning about the food. It's the culture, the knowledge of your people. That's what being woke means. So the fact that they took the word woke and hijacked it and then flipped it and tried to make it some type of political thing, it's like, nah, that was never for y'all. That word woke was never for you all. That word woke was for our people to wake themselves up, to understand the system that they were placed in. All right? So
first white in America, then that's when you unsub from my channel.
Yeah,
a lot of white folks are using the woke thing as a way to make black people ignore what's happening to them in this country.
Facts every day.
And the moment a black man calls out what's happening in this country, you know what they tell me? You being divisive. I thought you were smarter than that. It's all fake. Only when I call out.
He already doing it, Russell. He already sent. He done sent him to D.C. He said he going to Baltimore. He taking them to Memphis. Yeah. So let them keep doing what they doing in their cities. We're going to create an excuse. We're going to create a reason to come behind all this crime, all this division. We're going to come behind and we're going to sweep. We're going to just,
America have no problem calling out black on black crime. I don't understand how me calling out white on white crime now makes me not woke. See, fuck being woke then. I don't want to be part of y'all little woke clique no more. I just want to be Sanchez. Because y'all trying to use that as a control mechanism of me not saying the truth.
Yeah, that's woke. Man, I can't stand that word woke, yo.
Make me stop seeing that. If your wokeness made you do that, I got the question if you woke at all. Now, people keep telling me to stick to They telling me to stay out of politics because of what I said about Charlie Kirk's family being right-wing Republicans. And the reason people are coming at me is because they saying, hey, bro, the shooter was a liberal. So you're dumb for bringing up the fact that his parents were conservatives. But let me share something with y'all why I brought it up, right? I'm going to share something with y'all why I brought that up because it went over their head, right? So I'm going to see if y'all can catch it. People on the right, like Charlie Kirk, often blame violence on single-parent households and liberalism. The reason I pointed out that Charlie Kirk's shooter came from a conservative right-wing Republican family is to show that you can have both parents in the home and they can be conservatives, yet still raise a quote-unquote rainbow warrior with liberal stances. Don't you know that Charlie Kirk blames black man's violence on his lack of a father?
Yeah, Earth Day.
Malcolm X didn't have a father.
I've been covering this story right here. Well, I seen the video at the college with the black girl too, if that's the one you're referring to. It's a couple videos right now. But yes, you see what he just said? That alleged assassin, came from a right-wing family. Okay, he didn't come from no liberal family. Those are not the type of people that go out and do shit like that. No way. They already understand the consequences of situations like that. Why can't we? Why would we be the type of people going out here committing crime, knowing good and goddamn well that we still gotta go have our day in court and it might not go our way? We ain't out here running around, even if you, and I'm not gonna say we, because I really don't take sides with this political shit, left or right, red or blue. I don't get into that shit. I really don't. I'm really just reacting. I'm really just seeing, I'm using my two eyes and my two ears to observe and to hear what the fuck's going on around me. But what I will tell you is that the people that identify like that, they're usually not just going out taking people out because of some shit where a man is speaking about a transsexual and he doesn't like it. Like, those text messages were cringe, man. Like, just to read something like that and then a person say, I'm gonna go handle this person, I couldn't take it no more, because they're speaking, and they're speaking from a place of, I gotta make sure this person can never speak again. Like, no. People don't just walk around like that in America, man. We don't do that. People have arguments. I've had many multitudes of arguments with people about subjects like that, but it never led to violence. Okay.
Was raised by a single mother. Right. There's so many examples that prove Charlie Kirk wrong. He wants to blame the black man's violence on the lack of a father versus a prison industrial complex and social engineering. If they worried about black people inciting violence for mocking Charlie Kirk's death, then Charlie Kirk would tell you that hip-hop music incites young black men to kill other young black men.
Yes.
By your same logic.
Yes.
But they won't use that logic when it comes to black violence because they're profiting off the music industry. They're in the bed with the small hats. They ain't gonna step on their white brother's foot who's profiting off the prison industrial complex and the music industry. So when they look at black violence, they gonna say this because the nigga didn't have a daddy. Despite all of the black men who was raised by single mothers who were advocates for world peace, dignified, honorable black men.
Hey, look.
Despite all the white men that didn't have
I lost my dad early in my life. I ain't never had to go out here and take no man's life. And I done listen to the music, and I damn sure can say, hey, this can lead a nigga down a path of destruction. Okay, so to not admit that does definitely seem as if it's a tactic used by the small hats, by the people that want to continue to make money off of hip hop. All right.
Despite all of the white men that had a mama and daddy in the house but still hung niggas on trees. According to Charlie Kirk, your violence is due to a lack of a father, but the white man daddy stood over him as they castrated the black man. Your logic is flawed. It don't matter how many parents raised a person, it matters what they put in that person's mind when they raised them. So the man that killed Charlie Kirk had both of his parents. Charlie Kirk should have a mama and daddy. And not only that, they was right-wing, MAGA-maniac Republicans. And they still raised a white man that was a threat to his own people. You see black people killing each other every day. They're threats to their own people. What's the mentality behind it? It's the music which incites violence in our community that don't nobody want to deal with because white men are profiting off the music in the prisons. Crazy Bone told you that. Charlie Kirk didn't listen to the Crazy Bone interview. Yep. He loved to listen to
Go listen to what Crazy Bone said about the private, what's it called? Correctional facilities or the private jail industries. I don't know what it's called per se. I can't remember a lot of shit no more for some reason. And then go and listen to what Crazy Bone said, and then go listen to what Scarface said. They had very similar outputs on what was taking place in hip hop, and people just stepped right over that shit like it never was said. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, make sure y'all double tapping the screen. Make sure y'all subbing up to the channel. We got 42 people in the building. Let's get 20 subs, man. Let's get 20 subs. I think we got 704 right now. Shout out to the 704. We got 704 subs right now. We in the city of Charlotte with it. And L Boogie is reacting. Let's go.
Start calling that nigga Thomas sold out. So I don't understand how all of y'all missed that. This completely debunks Charlie's entire narrative because his killer had both parents and they were MAGA maniacs just like him. They act like MAGA households are the model everyone needs to replicate to make America great again. Yet here you have a young white man from an upper class suburban neighborhood raised by far-right MAGA conservatives, and he still turns out to be an assassin for the rainbow liberals.
Yes.
You can't pin this one on
a rainbow liberal. Hey, we got a MAGA out here smoking a MAGA family. Came from a pro-MAGA family, and he out here smoking people for the liberals. Let's play that back. Hold on.
He's by far-right MAGA conservatives, and he still turns out to be an assassin for the rainbow liberals. You can't pin this one on black single mothers in the ghetto, which is exactly what Charlie often tried to do. But his murderer wasn't a black man who was raised by a single mother. It was a white boy who was raised by a beautiful.
Hey, y'all know that. See, you know, I come from that culture. We're all from that culture. I can tell. We are from that culture in this chat. You know, and for the people that's gonna, being tuned to it or whatever, if you do see it, we ain't got shit to do with Charlie Kirk being taken out. And the reason people are laughing at it, I'm just assuming, because I'm not laughing at it. I don't laugh at nobody being taken out. But if people are laughing at it, they're saying you're getting what you're putting out. The chickens are coming home to roost on some Malcolm X type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, people saying that because they feel like y'all always mock our deaths. Why can't y'all get that through your noggins, okay? Our people understand, like, hey, man, y'all, it happens. Niggas get killed every day, B. You know what I'm saying? So, whenever we take it upon ourselves to express that freedom of speech, then now it's a big issue with the black community. Y'all want to target us. We ain't the ones out here killing y'all. It's you all killing you all. Why can't y'all understand that,
Both were MAGA Republicans. But all of the people on the right
MAGA Republicans.
left thing because the shooter was left. But guess what? It don't matter what Democratic Party the shooter, it don't matter what political party the shooter was. Guess what it matter? Who raised you?
Right, Russell.
Who raised you? And guess who raised that rainbow liberal? Not no rainbow liberals. So what does this prove? This proves that y'all want to stereotype these crazy ass shooters in public on transgender rainbow liberals. And you can't stereotype everything. Because the perfect example is in Charlie Kirk's death. There's a message in his death. The fact that the person that took him out, you can say this boy was a rainbow assassin for the liberals, but the fact that two conservative parents raised him ought to be a wake-up call.
Facts.
Hey, I just want to add, if you don't mind, brother.
And he kept talking about his daddy's rifle. He kept talking about his granddaddy's rifle, a 2K scope. Who the hell got a 2K scope in the hood, bruh? I don't know one black man with a $2,000 scope on the top of his rifle, bro. And the rifle was probably $1,000 to $2,000. That's a $4,000 rifle. $4,000 rifle, bro. Who the hell got one of them in the hood, bro? Bruh, Nick, they already said niggas is toting Glocks and shit, $600 pistols with a $100 clip on it, and they ain't got multiple mags. We not walking around here doing that type of shit. Why y'all want to blame us for this? How can we get blamed for a $4,000 snipe? And then the snipe might even not be what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, fake news, man. Fake news. We gotta stop letting these people psych us out with this bullshit. And that's why, dude, car loud as hell. That's why we gotta keep talking about it. We gotta keep like I said, they done censored my channel a little bit. I feel. Cause at one point I was in here I was popping them, boy. But at the end of the day, yeah, man, that's fake news, man. Let's keep going. But I think I'm gonna end it at the 45-minute mark. Let's go.
So I'm gonna first start by saying
what Charlie Kirk's death proved is that violence in America can't be
one
political party, or whether or not there's one or two parents in the home.
Yeah, it debunks. And like you say, who raised you? You raised a lot of these people. You're right. And in society and what's happening, bro, this is the modern day JFK, and it's gonna take the attention away from a lot of things that's happening. And on a lot of things simultaneously.
There's so much other shit going on, and we want to keep talking about this one
guy.
Thank
you for joining. We have other people on the call. Shout out to my brother Nasir, my brother Keith Noble. If y'all want to introduce yourself.
But man, make sure y'all sub up the Bro Sanchez TV too, man. I watch bro a lot, and he's always been on that free thinking, that man, expand your mind, look deep into the source. Like, a lot of times we don't be doing that shit no more, man. We just be going with the news, man. I be having to tell my people, my folks, like, bro, stop watching the news and go do your own research, man. Because a lot of this shit don't be what they make it out to be. Even with the protests at the colleges and shit. Like, why all the protests keep taking place at the colleges? If a protest is taking place, well, maybe you got your scholars there or whatever. Yeah, and I am going to give everybody an open panel, Russell. I got to get the time to set it up. I'm going to make sure that I pay for it to where we can bring in multiple people. They can talk or whatever. I'm going to make sure that I get StreamYard or whatever so people can come in, express themselves, and go from there for the most part. You know what I'm saying? That way it won't be like no bullshit or whatever. Everybody can speak and go from there. Other than that, we got 47 people watching. Make sure y'all hit the sub button, hit the like button, share the content. We're still on our way to work, but I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Hug your loved ones, give them a kiss, whatever you do, however you express affection to your family, because tomorrow's never promised. It's your boy L Boogie Reacts. We up out of here. Hit that like button, man, and sub up to the channel. Let's go.